Race 8 and 5 from Chepstow now, so the Persian War Novices Grade 2 hurdle. Small field here over 2.5 miles. So, cause for concern. Joshua Southern looking for a three-timer. Irish Rose for Pontypool Racing. Caldona Fleet for Daniel French. Darren Thompson's Merrill Point. Sound leader for David Hooley. David Robertson's Turnpois. And Vinnie Gerardsen's Victorville Bouquet. 7 of them to fight this Grade 2 Persian War Novices hurdle. They're racing. Let's see how tactical this one may be, because Turnpous's Turnpois, I don't know, Turnpous is our leader at the moment, but reluctantly. Cause for concern on his inside, and Caldona Fleet on his outside. Then just behind that is Merrill Point and Irish Rose. They've got nowhere to go anyway. Up against the Rowley Sound leader in the purple silks of David Hooley. A little bit wider from there is a Victorville Bouquet as they come down to the third. And they will skip over that. So Turnpois, cause for concern, and Irish Rose, 3 in the line. Caldona Fleet trying to join them, but the one that has actually pushed through is Irish Rose. So you rise and go over the fourth, although Irish Rose pecked a little bit on landing and shuffles back. So just the two up front there, Turnpous and cause for concern. And Merrill Point, 4 wide, although taking a hold and a breather. So you're going to come past the winning post. Go out for a full circuit. It's Turnpois, and cause for concern. Rose and Victorville Bouquet out wide against the rail, just pushing through Sound leader. Outside of that is Merrill Point and Caldona Fleet. Nothing in it, 4 of them. 5 in the big line at the back. Within 3 lengths of each other, all these 7 horses to take the Persian War Novices Grade 2 hurdle. Cause for concern, that just takes it up by half a length now from Turnpous. These two are flip-flopping. From the line of horses behind, there's not much change. They get to the 5th. He's over that okay. Turnpous was probably the worst. Victorville Bouquet challenges him for second, but more the fact that I think he's dropping back into the chasing pack rather than they're getting any closer to him. So cause for concern for Josh Sutherland leads us by a length and a half to Sound leader up against the Row. And he just pushes himself into second on his own. Merrill Point up into third. As they go over the 6. 5 more to take, and it will be cause for concern that leads them down to the 7th from Sound leader and Merrill Point and Irish Rose, and then Victorville Bouquet and Caldona Fleet and Turnpous, who's gone from first to last in a furlong and a half. Taking a really decent breather. They're getting back closer to the chasing pack now as they come inside the final mile. It's cause for concern. Leads by 4 to Merrill Point, who's moved into second now, and Sound leader up against the Row, and then the 2 Irish Rose and Victorville Bouquet. And then Turnpous and Caldona Fleet. Concern still. Inside the 6 furlongs from Merrill Point, Victorville Bouquet, Turnpous, Sound leader, Irish Rose and Caldona Fleet. This is almost as boring as a National Hunt front race, but cause for concern leads from Turnpous, who's come from last and going to now challenge. Cause for concern as they come down to the final half mile as they go over the 8, so it's 4 from home with 3 to take. Cause for concern. Turnpous is up into second, under a little bit of pressure now as Caldona Fleet, Victorville Bouquet and Merrill Point will try and close the gap on this leader. They're followed through by Sound leader, who's moved out wide, and Irish Rose is in last position. A much better jump there by Caldona Fleet. Been quiet throughout, takes on cause for concern and swings on by as they get down down to the final quarter. That's 2 from home. We're coming down to the last, and it's this Caldona Fleet from Cause for Concern, Merrill Point and Sound Leader. 3 between these 4 with a furlong and a half to run. Caldona Fleet gets over it well, but better jumps by Cause for Concern on the inside and Merrill Point on the outside. But Caldona Fleet's got a little bit more left, and he starts to pull away again inside the final half. Chasing him down is Merrill Point. Cause for Concern's got nothing left. The white outside is Sound Leader, but Caldona Fleet's going to hold them all off here. Takes the Persian for a Novices hurdle grade 2. Well done to Paul Parsons. Merrill Point and Darren Thompson in second. Pretty sure Josh hung on for third. He did. With Cause for Concern, David Hooley, sorry, in fourth, with Sound Leader, and Victorville Bouquet was fifth.